we do what we do. I guess a better question for myself and Eldon would be, why not do what we do? I grew up with family members, my aunts, my oldest aunt fostered for years, and so I had family members that were actually foster children, but we never made any difference in our family. And I admired how she would take kids in. She adopted 3 of them, and I just always knew when I grew up that that was something that I wanted on me. And I was lucky enough to marry a man who saw my vision as well with kids. And yes, it's challenging, but I just couldn't imagine doing anything else. When we first talked about it and decided to do it, our son was finishing up his sophomore year in high school, so we could have been free as a bird, you know, in a couple of years. And we even brought him in on it and asked his ideas, and we all decided, you know, why not? We have the room, we have the home, we have the heart, and now we couldn't imagine not having the kids in our lives or in our homes. And if we only get it right just one time, that's enough for us. Some of the kids that we've had in our home have experienced a lot of different difficulties. We had one particular young man and his brother who came into our home because they had been molested by not a family member or anything, but the parents were using like a video game center place or something to drop off the kids and take a break. And it just so happened that the operator and the owner of the video center was molesting children, so we had one of those kids that came in, and there were some hardships at home, was the other reason why they came into care. We've also, because we take older boys, we've taken a lot of kids that have experienced drug abuse in the home where they ended up abusing drugs as well. We've had a young man that came to us when he was 16 but had been smoking pot since he was 11 and had learned how to sell pot, how to grow pot. So we've experienced a lot of different things with the kids. I think one of the hardest things to watch when the kids are in your home that really tugs at your heartstrings, that openness that they have waiting for the mother or the father to come back into their lives, sometimes waiting for the phone call or the visit that somehow gets excused away, and you see the disappointment in them. And the other thing, I think we take older children, all boys, but they realize, they're old enough to realize by the time they come to us that the state has contacted, you know, family member A, B, C, and D that didn't come forth, and they realize that you know, they're going to a home and that we're going to try to do the best for it. But just knowing that they know all of these things and they're still trying to rise above the challenges and the emotional part of it, that's the hardest thing to watch.
Because they all hope that they're going to go back home, and when, like she said, they don't get the phone call or they don't get the visit, the parents are doing what they should do to try to get their child back, and you see their heart break because they're the ones dealing with it. That's tough.
And we deal with kids that sometimes they're never going back home. We deal with a lot of kids where the parents' rights have been terminated, and that's tough to know too. But not that we're trying to replace their parents, but we just want them to know that we're going to support them no matter how many challenges there are ahead and how they try to push us away to test us to see if we're going to do some of the same things, you know, like walk away from them that other people in their lives have done. The community can best support our kids by, one, having a level of tolerance, not being judgmental, get to know the kids, interact with them, support them, be genuine. Kids can read adults. Also, like I said, take the time to maybe want to sponsor a kid in something. Um, Maybe give them little odd jobs that they could help out with. Make them feel welcome in the community and the neighborhood. That's the biggest thing. We want them to feel like they belong, because to us they do, and in our hearts and in our homes, and we just like everybody else to give them a chance.
Don't put a label on them.
Exactly. The impact that Angel's Arms has had on us and our home. As I said earlier, we take older children who already have such a great level of distrust when it comes to adults, because the adults that have been in their lives have somehow let them down. One of the things that Eldon and I can't teach these kids on our own, because, you know, just like sometimes the stereotype that you do it for the money, the kids are old enough to know that you get some sort of maintenance payments to help support them. They can always throw that back up at us if they wanted to. The thing that Angel's Arms brings is you've got all these wonderful adults and volunteers and staff that help out with the kids, from sponsoring them, for setting up activities, from tutoring, from camps. Also, just taking the time to pick the kids up sometimes and drop them off someplace. We had one individual, we have an older child that's in college, that took a day off work to make sure that he had someone to travel back the first time he was going to drive back on his own to school. You know, these are the things that we get from Angel's Arms. You know, yes, there's support and assistance and you know, like I said, the sports and activities and stuff, but the personal contact that the kids get to have through Angel's Arms, you know, helping us show them that there are adults out there that want to do for them and take care of them and love them and get to know them for no reason at all except they want to give back and it's the right thing to do. We can't teach that. You guys do that for us.